Hey everybody, how's it going? This is Darren with GuitarControl.com bringing you this video lesson, and today we have Volume 5 of subscriber requested riffs. So if you have an idea or a request for a riff that you would like to learn in this series, leave it down in the comments because that's where I'm getting all of these suggestions from. Right now we have this really cool chord chart that we're giving away for free. There's a link down in the description where you can download it. It's in PDF format, you can print it out. It's really cool because it just has all of the different chords that you could ever need for whatever you're trying to play, all in one really well organized space. So be sure to click on the link in the description for the tabs, and let's get close up and take a look at this. Alright, so the first one we have is Little Dreamer by Van Halen, and to be in the same key you'll need to tune down approximately a half step. Alright, so for this one here we're going to start on the 8th fret of the low E string with your 3rd finger, and we hit that twice, and then we go to the 6th fret of the A string, and then to the 8th fret. So these first two notes are 16th notes, and then the next two are 8th notes. So it's like... And then we're going to do this E flat 5 over B flat. So all I'm going to do is take my 3rd finger, and I'm just going to bar it at the 8th fret on the D and the G string. So... and then back to the 8th fret of the low E, so I'm just going to use my middle finger. So that's the first measure and half of this riff. Then we just simply move down to the 3rd fret of the low E with your 3rd finger and do the same sequence. So now it's 3-3 on the low E, to the 1st fret of the A string, to the 3rd fret, and then B flat 5 over F flat, or over F, and we're gonna play it here on the 3rd fret of the D and G string. So, and that's the whole riff. So you got... Alright, so the next one we got is Wheels of Steel by Saxon. So this is a pretty cool riff, pretty easy, just kind of a, you know, bluesy kind of style riff. So we just start off with just A5, and it's a whole note tied to a whole note tied to a half note. So it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, and then on the and of 3, we're just going to come up to the 5th fret of the D and G string and just bar that, kind of like what we did in the last one. And we're going to go from 5 to 4 to 2. So this is and 4 and. So that's the beginning of it. Now, after it comes down, you do the 5, 4, 2, that's on the and of 4, and it's tied to the downbeat of 1 on the next measure. So then on the and of 1, we hit that again, up to 7, 5, 2, so that's the next measure. Then the next measure, back up to 7 again, 7, 5, 2, 2, and then reach up with your middle finger and grab the 3rd fret of the low E, and we're going to pick that and give it just a little bit of a bend, a little quarter step bend, and then back to barring the D and G string. Now Now I'm just doing this with one finger like this, so it's just easier for you to see. But you know, if you're, you don't have to just do it with a single finger, but if you're a beginner, it might be easier at first to do it that way. Alright, and then the last one we're going to look at is Turn Me Loose by Loverboy. So this is like the, on the intro of the song. So there's like lots of keyboards, and then there's like a pretty prominent bass line, you know, that is being played at the same time. So this is actually a pretty cool whole setup here. So we're going to start off just with a G5 power chord. So first finger on the 3rd fret of the low E, 3rd finger on the 5th fret of the A string, and 4th finger on the 5th fret of the D string. So we hit this as 8th notes. 1 and then we're going to do that mute strum on the downbeat of 2, and then on the and of 2 we're just going to hit that 3rd fret of the low E. So now you could and hit the whole chord again. It's not really going to matter because it's really quick. It's on the and of 2, and then on the downbeat of 3 we're just going to come up, and again we're just going to be playing across the D and the G string like we have on the last 2 songs. And we're just going to bar that with our first finger, and like I said, this is on the downbeat of 3, and it's a half note, and then it's tied to a dotted half note and a quarter note in the next measure. So it rings out for a total of 6 beats, but on that last beat we're going to slide out of it. So, then it repeats. Okay, and then after that we're going to come down and do F5, so we're just going to move that same chord shape down a whole step. So now we're at the 1st fret with our 1st finger, and the 3rd fret on the A and D strings with our 3rd and 4th fingers. Now this part here is for me it's the hardest part. So we hit on the downbeat of 1 and then we rest on the downbeat of 2, and then on the and of 2 we hit that again. So it's like, then on the downbeat of 3 we have to do that same power chord shape, but we're going to move it all the way up. So our first finger is on the 1st fret of the B string, 3rd finger is on the 3rd fret of the high E string. So for me that's the toughest part, to consistently grab that chord. So we hit that, it's on the downbeat of 3 as a half note, and then it's tied to the first 2 beats of the next measure. So it's like 3, 4, 1, 2. Then we come back down to the F5, and we hit this on the downbeat of 3, and it's an 8th note. So it's like 3, 8, and we just hit just the 1st fret of the low E, and this is palm muted. So we hit it 3 times. The first 2 are 16th, or actually all 3 are 16th. So we hit it 3 times, 1, 2, 3, and on the 3rd time we hammer onto the 2nd fret. Then we pick the 2nd fret again, back up to again. So that's like basically the main part of the riff. Then we got this little easy lick. So we're going to start on the 3rd fret of the A string with your 3rd finger, and we're going to pick that and slide to the 5th fret. Then we're going to skip over the D string, go to the 3rd fret of the G string with our 1st finger, and then to the 5th fret with our 3rd finger, and we're going to bend that a full step bend and release. And then back to 3. So. Alright, so there you have it, Volume 5 of subscriber requested riffs. So, like I said at the beginning, if you have suggestions or ideas for riffs that you'd like to learn, leave them in the comments because I read those and that's where I get all of these suggestions from. So if you like this lesson, be sure to give me a thumbs up and leave a comment down below if you have any questions about this or other guitar-related topics. If you've not already done so, please subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of the content that we upload throughout the week. Well, that is all I have for you today. Thanks for watching and have a great day.